Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Salil. Not much to talk about, particularly in this session, as rain has completely stopped play and not the best of things that we wanted, Salil. What was your take when you saw, I mean, the rains and stuff? It's just a disappointing sight to see, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was heading for some like a classic thriller on the second day itself, and a lot happening. India starting the day brilliantly, England coming back soon after lunch, and just the rains have really been a dampener, honestly.
Definitely. And if you look at the scorecard here, you can clearly see that India were cruising at one point, and now it's actually, topsy turvy with Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul out there. What do you make of this? What are your thoughts, Salil?
I think now KL Rahul needs to play a little like a sheet anchor, and Rishabh Pant also cannot be any reckless as he was today. I mean, just coming out and trying to hit for a boundary, it's not in the right intent. But maybe I think they're guessing that if I'm not going to make 10, 15 runs, I might as well make more runs in a flurry rather than wasting any time. So maybe that was the situation. But I think mentally he's always done that, and he would want to just be there with KL Rahul. I think he's the one who's set for a big one, and maybe the tail of can help him this time. Honestly, we were in for a huge shock if the game would have continued this afternoon. And the way Jamie Anderson had bowled, I think
Yes.
those deliveries that absolutely finished India's middle order. And then soon followed was absolute ridiculousness. I don't know how the runouts happen so often. So often. Ajinkya Rahane is not someone you expect to do that, but it's happened more than once. He's run Kohli out. I think we spoke about this before.
Many a times. Many
Yes,
a times.
you don't need those cheeky singles. You're in a comfortable position, and I mean, you need to set your eye in. Don't try to do that. I think he
Definitely.
just did that, and that run out was a waste of a very good wicket. I think this kind of wicket requires a batsman with the temperament and technique like an Ajinkya Rahane, but clearly a little disappointed here today.
We'll come to the run out first, but Salil, most importantly, I want to talk about Jimmy Anderson and the impact that he's brought. We always rate him high. We know that he's a veteran in English cricket, and the amount of experience that he brings to this side, and the composure and the control he has on his skills. Salil, what are your thoughts, and what is the one thing that he does right that others can't do in English conditions?
I think one, he reads the conditions extremely well. Two,
Fantastic point.
he's such a bowler that he bowls on the same line. He knows how much the ball is going to swing. You give any kind of ball to him, whether it's 50 years old or 50 overs old or 60 overs old, it doesn't matter really. So what happened in the first session, if you recollect, was James Anderson was bowling such deliveries which were giving Rohit and KL Rahul a lot of space to just leave them. He was not
Yeah.
really fishing them on the around the off stump. But in when he came back after lunch, that is exactly what he did, and he just bowled brilliantly to Pujara and Kohli. It was one big huge heartbreak. You could just see it in his eyes that he
Yes.
was extremely disappointed with the shot he played. I don't blame him at all. I think it was a peach of a delivery, and any
It
batsman
was.
would put forward and try to jab the ball down, but it just took off. So that was the end of Captain Kohli. But
If
Pujara
you give
is
him, yeah, Pujara. Yeah, I was just saying that even if you give him a 50-year-old ball, no, Jimmy Anderson, and the form that he's in, he will still take that wicket. And people are on social media just saying that Kohli is his bunny, and he kept him in his pocket. Kohli sure will be looking into his technique and just will be trying to collect himself and make sure that in the coming matches he doesn't make the same mistakes, because we saw what he could do in 2014, and then how Kohli came back in 2018. He's a man who is known for his comebacks, and he's not someone who just takes it. Here's a fan comment here. What's your take on Kohli's dismissal? Right time, Zoher Jihan. Was it really necessary to fetch the ball rather than letting it go? Salil, straight away, you're the
I
expert. Please take
I
us through.
really don't think he would have left the ball. I don't think he was looking at his off stump. If there was any other player, probably they'll stick to their off stump and then see the ball very closely and then leave it. But I think he lunged forward a little bit. But it was a peach of a delivery. It wasn't that far away from the stump either. So I think it was just a fish and a hook situation for Kohli, and I think he took it.
And Zoher, to answer your question, Salil has just said that, and Kohli's an aggressive player. Okay, if you bowl him in his arc, he's definitely going to go for it. That's the advantage and disadvantage of being a Virat Kohli. If you get the ball, he's going to hit it, but that leads to his downfall at times. Now, speaking of the run out, Salil, you just spoke in brief earlier. Can you please elaborate and tell me more importantly that why are these Indian players taking these risky singles? You saw Rohit Sharma. You made a great point in the earlier segment where you said that Rohit Sharma was just going to get run out and he just got in, and now here we see again a run out, and it's the worst thing to happen for a batsman.
Absolutely. I think Ajinkya Rahane was coming come. To be honest, the way we were playing, I think Pujara's wicket maybe would have been a one-off, and then he would think, all right, maybe my captain is going to play that inning. Now the pitch is in a right situation, but I think he got it all wrong, and he walked in, on the wrong side. It's like it was a bad day for Ajinkya Rahane. I think that kind of a run out should not really happen. You can't commit yourself to, just your start can't be that much in a test match, especially when the other batsman is playing on a 50. You don't try to complete his 50, you just be there. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened before Rohit Sharma's wicket also. And I think that was one of the reasons where he would have lost his concentration and he went for the short ball. So I think all in all, just bad decision making, at this time, and just losing a very, very precious wicket when India needed it the most. Luckily, the score is only 188, and
Yeah.
even if India bundled out for a few, they still have a chance in. But what if this was a 250 plus score? It would
Yes,
have been
good
a
point.
different ball game altogether.
Absolutely. And a fantastic point you made there earlier that the run out opportunity that was created for Rohit Sharma could have, got that lapse in concentration, if I may say, when he was batting. That could be one of the reasons where he, fished out on that short delivery. Similarly, here you give a run out, being a very important player. They are the four horsemen of Indian cricket, if I may say, Rohit, Pujara, Kohli, and Rahane. And these are the most important wickets of the Indian middle order. And, getting out so cheaply puts a lot of pressure on the batsman coming in later. And more importantly, Salil, I want to ask you a very important question here. Rains. Now the rains have come. Okay, the whole pitch might be wet, and the outfield in general, and the moisture as well that it comes with. So do you think the pitch will play a bit differently now that we go tomorrow? The stumps for today, but over the period of time, the pitch will get more and more difficult to bat on as time goes by.
Absolutely. I mean, if the rains wouldn't have come, this session would have truly proved that this entire match, the bowlers have always come back, and taken. No batsman has gone ahead and made a bigger score. I think it was the brilliance of Joe Root to play that innings yesterday, and of Rahul and the way Rohit started. But
Yeah.
otherwise, it's an extremely difficult pitch to bat on. It is a bowler's paradise. The rains that are there now have made it even more difficult for the batsman. At least the bounce that was true is not going to happen. I mean, the ball can stop and come. The ball might just skid through. You never know what's going to happen, and clearly there is some rain forecast for the next 2 days, so you can expect, if not rain, there are overcast conditions. So all in all, I think it's a nightmare for batsmen, and any batsman who would score on this ground, on this in this match, I think is somebody who really have the test match temperament, and maybe a
Absolutely.
little bit of luck too. But yes,
Yeah.
that's something.
That's luck is a very important factor. But say you said temperament. I just want to, put in a question related to that because, like you said, the weather forecast predicts that there'll be rain on and off. Probably there'll be overcast conditions. So, do you think that temperament is the most important thing here for the Indian batsman coming now? Because you're going to be in, then there's going to be rain. You're going to take a break, and again you have to come in and switch on. That's very difficult to do as a batsman. So that is something what KL Rahul needs to apply. Do you think that is something that is going to be a big test for him and Rishabh Pant here?
I think I think the team management would have two discussions, one with
Okay.
KL Rahul and the other with the rest of the gang.
Okay.
KL Rahul knows what he needs to do. Any more information from anybody is only going to put him under pressure. He knows what he wants to do
True.
and what he needs to do for his team. But when it comes to Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja, and Shardul Thakur, these guys need to try and build at least 100 runs with KL. If they
Correct.
keep that as a target and by not giving away their wicket, that doesn't mean you need to take a cheeky run. That doesn't mean you think you might want to step out to a Joru to suddenly come to for a bowler to change ends. You never know. These
Yeah.
are these are all the baits that are the change in the show which will rattle you suddenly. So
Correct.
they should not fall for that. I think if they apply themselves, they'll be able to help India reach that target of 188 because they're still far away. They're more than 60 runs away, and I think that's the only chance that India really have. Going into the third day, I think England are on top because of the way
Okay.
India is batting, and their tail is almost exposed. I think they'll be quite upbeat after today. The rain gods have done the home team well.
Magic for England here. And two good points that I really like to take from this conversation is one is the temperament that you used, and the second is application. That is going to be really essential tomorrow. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and let's hope to have good 90 overs of cricket and not rains. Please, rain gods, just let some good cricket happen. And
Yes.
thank you so much, Salil, for joining with me. It was fantastic to
Thank
have this conversation. A very short one because we didn't have much to talk about.
you.
9 overs and a bit of action happening, 3 wickets falling in these 9-10 overs
Yeah,
that commenced. But I'll see you tomorrow for the pre-match show, and probably we'll discuss more about how India will take on the English bowlers and how the English bowlers will try to set up the Indian batsmen. So this was Sports Adda live. Thank you. Signing off for today. Thank you, Salim.
thanks, Ash. Good night.